Hello, my beautiful, beautiful witches. I just wanted to jump on here really quickly and wish you the happiest of New Year's. There's lots of New Year's magic that you can do in order to prepare and launch yourself into the brand new year in a really magical and focused kind of way. There are so many options, and I would like to share some of those options with you now. I'm just in the car and I'm waiting for laundry to dry. And so I thought, you know what? I might just do this quick video and I might just share it with you all. So first of all, you can do a New Year candle spell. A New Year candle spell can be done using the color of a candle that aligns with the focus, intention, and energies that you wish to bring. If you are one of those multi-focused people and there are a fair few different things that you wish to attract into the new year, then I would highly recommend working with a full spectrum candle like a white candle, which can encompass a lot of different colors. It can substitute a lot of different colors with the exception of black candles. So white and black candles, always great to have in your little witch's toolbox. To that, you can anoint, you can inscribe the candle. I like inscribing my candle with a glass tipped, what do you call it? Oh my gosh, fountain pen, like a little glass tipped pen. I also use the points of crystals. Points if you can do the points of crystals. Points. But it's a really great way of not forcing, but really aligning your intentions. Like if you use quartz, which is an incredible conductor of energy, and you have a nice fine point on your quartz crystal, your clear quartz crystal, and you focus really hard on what it is that you are wanting and inscribing onto that candle, then you're adding an extra layer of magic, because a quartz crystal can help you to focus and align and, conduct that energy in the right way. So it's piezoelectric in that way. So once you have inscribed, always make sure to write your full birth name and a date of birth on your candle. Attach it to yourself, lick your thumb, rub it on that name, that date of birth, own that candle, put your DNA imprint onto that candle, make that candle linked to you. You've just created a really beautiful tag lock, and that candle is going to burn with your energy, your DNA energy on that candle. And then you anoint it with an oil that aligns with your purpose. If you do not have an oil, then you can grab yourself a cooking oil of some description. Go for something like olive or grapeseed or sunflower or something to that variety, and really nice natural oil, not a vegetable oil, but a natural oil. And you can sit there and you can whisper to it, you can pray over it, you can consecrate it, you can prepare it in such a way that it becomes that little extra something, that little extra layer of intention. If you have a condition oil or a magical oil that perfectly aligns with your intentions for the new year, then use that. If you are wanting to bring more success into the new year, then consider using a Crown of Success oil. If you'd like a little bit more all-rounded luck, I would recommend using a Van oil. And that's luck and prosperity as well. If you need to rise above the odds and add extra power, extra energy to that new year, and to ensure that you are well guarded, protected, on focus, and all of that beautiful fun stuff, use a High John the Conqueror oil. And there are many, many other oils that you can use. And so if you have a purpose-made oil that's more of a magical oil rather than a hoodoo style condition oil, then working with those intentions, so usually like a nice pathway opener. There are beautiful, beautiful oils to be found on the market. I would recommend using something along the lines of a Crown of Success or a road opener oil or a blockbuster oil if you're going for condition oils. You can also use protection oils to make sure that you're well guarded and protected throughout your movements in the new year. And that is it. That is you done. And then as you approach the new year, as that bell chimes, as they like to say, as the ball drops, the bell chimes, the time ticks over into the brand new year, you light that candle. and you use it as a pathway to light the way and allow it to burn down all the way. For this reason, you may want to choose a candle that will in fact burn all the way down, or if you have a larger, more robust pillar candle, I suggest you do this in stages, and that is light it on the lead up to the new year, so it is lit as the time turns, as the ball drops, and allow it to burn for an hour, and then the next day allow it to burn for another hour, and then the next day allow it to burn for another hour. It can be a few days worth of magic going in. It's nice if you're going to go in that direction, have yourself a 7-day candle so you can burn it a little bit every day. And so for the first full week of the new year, you have this beautiful magic like building and working for you. If you don't have the luxury of that candle, then you can either use 7 different candles, or you can just burn 1 candle all the way to start the year off fresh. There is no right or wrong way in that regard. Just go with what you need. My suggestion to you though is, if you have a lot that you wish to shift, if there is a lot that is standing in your way, if you've had a really rough couple of years, go for a larger candle, go for a 7-day candle and work that magic for 7 days, because you've got a lot to shift. If this is another year that you are entering with a big smile on your face, and yes, you've had your ups and downs, but nothing significant, nothing that's been a huge setback, then just work a simple 1 candle, ritual. And so that's a really, really lovely way of starting the new year. Another thing that you can do is a new year bath. Now, a ritual bath is one of the most beautiful things that can be done. You can do this inside, you can do this outside. Depending on where you are in the world, you might be able to stand outside in your bathers, in your swimwear, in your togs. There's so many words for it now. In your cozy. There's so many words here in Australia for one's swimming gear. Okay, and you can stand outside and you can pour this all over yourself, face, and rub it into the skin and allow it to sort of like absorb under the beautiful sunlight, or in the shade, because if you're in Australia, 3rd-degree burns are a real thing from the sun. But if you are elsewhere and it's like the thick of winter and it's blizzarding outside, hello to all my Canadian friends. I have a friend of mine from Australia visiting her family in Canada, and I've seen the footage. Okay, so if you are in that deep part of the snowed, covered country, then you might want to do this in a bath or in the shower. There is no particular way that you need to do this, but I recommend creating a nice big pot. Get a large cooking pot, fill it halfway with water. You want to give yourself at least 3 liters of water to work with here, because prosperity, baby, prosperity. So 3 liters of really beautiful, clean, fresh water. To that, add to the pot. Now, you get to design this a little bit. You get to put into that, you're making a herbal tea, essentially. You get to put into that tea exactly what you want. You want a bit of protection? Put in a little bit of herb for protection, a little clove, maybe a little bay, a little rosemary is really great for protection, couple of drops of frankincense oil or something like that, right? You want a little bit of peace and harmony and friendship. Put a good handful of lavender. You want a little love, you want a little psychic nuance in a really beautiful, subtle, high priestess feminine way. Add some rose, a nice red rose. You want purity and you want blessings, add white rose. You can add some hyssop. Really good protective stuff. For prosperity, you can add things like cinnamon. Cinnamon's a bit of an irritant though, so fenugreek can be a good substitute. As to oh my gosh, I'm drawing a complete blank here. You can use some chamomile because it equates to success as well. You can use thinking. A substitute for cinnamon. It's hard. Lavender can also be used for prosperity as well. Use a cinnamon stick. rather than powdered cinnamon if you're going to use it. Put a couple of pinches or a couple of teaspoons or tablespoons of sugar. You know, really play around with that recipe. Like, sit down with a book of herbs and look up what it is that you're wanting to bring. I always like to add a half a cup of coconut milk, and I also add 3 tablespoons of Florida water to my mix, and then I'll add a few condition oils, a little road opener. If you've got road opener herb, use the road opener herb, like those types of ingredients that are already, you know, purpose aligned. And once you have that, bring it to the boil and then allow it to cool right down, and you've got that really beautiful juicy essence. And then you pour it all over yourself. You use a little cup and you just start pouring it and then rubbing it into your skin in a really nice way and allowing it to sit and settle like that. If you prefer to do this in a bath, then you fill the bath with water and then you add the entire pot of mixture of that herbal bath tea to that water and you soak in it, and that's all you need to do. If you really want to go that extra level, you can also, prior to doing your herbal bath, you can give yourself a salt bath. Now, a salt bath is a very specific thing. You use coarse salt in a bucket of warm water, you know, the kind that is a temperature that is appropriate to be thrown on the body. So keep that in mind. You don't want it to be boiling and you don't want it to be cold. So make sure you tweak that temperature. A good 3 handfuls of coarse salt. Mix it in there with your hand. Have a white candle and a glass of water at the ready. Now you go into the bath, you have your bath as per usual. You wash all your bits and pieces. And then when you're done, you pour this bucket, this bowl, this saucepan, if you will, of water from your neck down. Don't throw this one on the face, don't throw it on the head, don't throw it on the crown of the head, don't surpass the neck. It's neck down. And once you are finished, step out of the shower, step out of the bath, whatever you need, whatever you've chosen to use, and go up and light your white candle. As you light your white candle, dedicate that candle to your highest good, to your guardian angel, to your guides, your guardians, your working helpful spirits, ancestors, and gods, and what have you not. So whomever it is that you work with, it's traditional to light it to your guardian angel or to your guide, your life guide. And so do that, allow it to burn completely. This doesn't need to be a very big candle, and I do not recommend using a tea light for this. I tend not to use tea light candles for much of anything, to be perfectly honest. I don't like the metal encasement and what that does to the flow of magic. So I prefer to use rather natural candles, and that's how I do it. So if you have a soy, a beeswax, or just a standard white candle, it can be a wishing candle, something like that. It doesn't have to be very big, just as long as that flame is dedicated and it's the beacon that is calling the attention, the necessary attention to you. It's a declaration that you are prepared magically, that you have been stripped of all unwanted and negative energies. When I say negative energies, I mean unwanted, malicious, malevolent, call it what you will, energies, and that you are ready to purify. And so salt is very neutralizing and very purifying. So you strip yourself of that unwanted crap, and now you're ready to lay a little extra magic on. The glass of water there is the conduit to the divine. Water is the conduit to the divine. So you light it and away you go, okay? You don't light the water, you light the candle. Place the glass of water next to it. Let me be clear here, because I understand that because I'm only talking about it and I'm not showing you, it can be a little bit confusing. Now, it's important for this to be in a high place. The candle and the glass of water should be up above the line of sight, or wherever it can be that is highest. It should never be on the ground. Don't put this on your altar. It's supposed to be up higher and hidden. And so be very, very fire safe, because I've seen people literally set their ceilings on fire with candles that were devotional candles that were put up high. So fire safety first and foremost. And if all you have is the bench or the sink or the vanity, use that. Use what you have. Don't get caught up in the particulars. What's important is doing the magic and working within the parameters of what you have to work with. Okay? And after that, try that beautiful herbal bath because you're ready to receive it. And do your New Year candle. There are 3 little options that I've given you. One to prepare, the other one to bless, and a little magic to work for you as you move your way through to the new year. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. Sorry it wasn't more of a show and tell, more of just a conversation. I've been surprised with a little gift from my lover and I'm frantically preparing. So I had hoped to do this in a much more a much more cohesive way, but since I can't, I just figure I will help you out in this way. Also, please know that I have put New Year and Christmas spells galore on my Patreon. So if you need a little further education, if you need the step-by-step, if you need instructions and recipes and lists of ingredients and things like that, they're all on there for Coven. And yes, there you have it. All right, my loves, take care. Happiest New Year to you, and I'll see you in the new year with new videos. Much love, many blessings.